Today we're going to start on a multi-day project. I'm going to start doing a cold smoked salmon. This is a store-bought salmon, but if you go fishing and you have a fresh one, that would be even better. This salmon is only cured with salt and then it's smoked. So it's a really simple process. I am using these tinfoil things. You want something like a big roaster with a grid or something that liquid can drip off from. That's the one I made spätzle with. There's these trays you can get in a 2-pack at the Dollar Tree, and they fit exactly like a lid onto those with the holes, and they fit exactly below it as a catch pan. So if you get the 2-pack and one of these guys, you have the ideal thing for curing salmon. So let me quickly get started on the cure, which is essentially just a salt brine. Many people brine this in a liquid. I do not. I want this fish to dry out because that gives a much better texture. Essentially what you want is a 30% sugar to salt ratio. You want a coarse salt like a sea salt or a kosher salt. I'm using brown sugar because that just gives you a little bit of extra flavor. All you do is essentially take 10 tablespoons of salt and 3 tablespoons of sugar and you have the right ratio. That's probably too much for this salmon here, because that's a fairly small piece. So I'm just going to half that. So I'm going to do 5 spoons of salt. That's already plenty. And then I'm going to do 1.5 spoons of sugar. Mix this together. Of course, you could put spices in. You could use pepper on it. You could use dill. All these good things. I prefer my salmon to be basic because that way I can use it in many dishes. Where if it tastes like dill or if it tastes like pepper, it might not fit what you want to do with it. Okay, so here is what I would call my cure. And now I'm taking the salmon. I will quickly trim off that very thin flap here. There, better. Now all I'm going to do is rub that mixture in, coat the fish well. Now I'm going to put this on top. And there you can actually kind of like cake it on. There we go. There it is. And now all I'm doing is I'm going to transfer this onto the whole thing. And of course I have that in a tray. And all I'm going to do is transfer this over. So whatever came off, I'm going to put on top. And this is the first step. Cover this loosely with that second lid here. And then I'm going to put this in my fridge and leave it there overnight or up to like 24 hours. Oh, it's looking pretty nice. When you touch it, you will notice it's very firm. See, I can lift the entire thing up just on one side. Cold water, please. Okay, let's pat this dry with some paper towels. And there we go. Now all we have to do is cover this back up and put it back in the fridge for another 24 hours. So I'm out on the side of my garage here. This is what my smoker looks like. It's a large metal can with a lid. I drilled a couple holes in here, higher and lower. These wooden dowels go in. In the lower position, I can put a hardware cloth on, like this, for something to lay down. And in the higher position, I can hang something like a ham or something. The smoke for cold smoking is generated with this little thing. You can find these on Amazon. They come in different shapes. And you just fill them up with pellets or with sawdust and light them on one end, and then the fire will slowly burn its way through, which usually takes somewhere around 8 hours. There's the lid, and there's a little exhaust pipe I can screw onto this. This is just so I can produce some airflow should I need it. So here's a trick you have to pay attention to. Do not overfill these lights. Leave a little bit of a room there, otherwise the fire will burn over and that's too quick. Okay, so you want these ridges to stick out. No matter which shape you get, you always want these to stick out. And now all you have to do is light it on one end. There is even a little hole here. And then it will start smoking. You want this to burn initially. The flame will eventually suffocate or you have to blow it out. But you would need a good start, otherwise this thing just goes out and doesn't smoke for long. So let this burn for a minute or two, so you have already some embers there, and that way it won't die on you. Okay, I think this is good enough. There we go, and there we have smoke. Here we have the fish. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. But I should be able to. There we go. Just put that there. Put the lid on. And I will also add my chimney for improved airflow. I'll check on it every half hour or hour or so, but this should just keep going for about 8 hours. It's been another few days and I think the salmon is good now. So it's time to unpack it and see how it tastes. I just don't want to get all the oil on my nice cutting board. Now ain't that a beauty? So let's see how this tastes. And you want to cut it really thin, so make sure you got a really sharp knife. Can you see that? This beats store-bought any day of the week. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and of course, leave me a comment. I'll see you next time.